So in this video we'll talk about some shoulder stretches as well as some basic stability and strengthening exercises for around your rotator cuff muscles. As in all these videos, it doesn't really replace an assessment, and these are quite generic exercises, so you will probably still need to maybe seek advice from a physio or gain further assessment to tailor the exercises to your condition. There is contact details in the content below the videos, so if there's any questions, please feel free to email and we can discuss what's going on or arrange an assessment if necessary. So to begin with, we'll look at some shoulder range of movement exercises. We've got, starting with a towel stretch with what we call internal rotation. So one of the easiest ways to get this movement going, if you've got enough movement, is to grab a towel. Obviously you can start with a longer towel and pull that up your back as far as you can go and try and hold that for about 30 seconds to a minute. There's different ways of achieving that. If you've not got that kind of movement, you can try and assist it with your hand. And that's quite a common movement that would be restricted in conditions like frozen shoulder and conditions like that, and osteoarthritis. Other stretches, what we call external rotation. You could hold onto a door handle, keep your elbow in by your side, maybe tuck a towel or a magazine under between your elbow and your side, and then just twist your body around to stretch that movement. You tend to feel quite a good stretch at the front of your shoulder with that one. Again, 30 seconds to a minute hold. You can also stretch into flexion, walking your hand up the wall or under a door frame and then stretching forwards into that. And the same idea for abduction, the sideways movement. Again, depending on what kind of movement you've got, you could start by walking your hand up the wall. You could also sit at a table and slide your arms forward if you prefer in a seated position, just so you can get a different angle of stretch at the shoulder. Okay, so there's sort of the basic four ranges of movement. You've got flexion, abduction, external rotation, and the internal rotation up your back. Those four movements are the main ones to focus on for stretching, and as I said, 30 to 60 second holds. With regards to sort of some basic stability and strengthening, most people can't really go wrong by working on strengthening and getting the rotator cuff working a bit better. So with this one, start with your shoulders in a neutral position, just gently backing down, nothing too forced, and just working on keeping your elbows in and turning your arms out to the side. And again, repetition wise, you can do that to fatigue. If you haven't got any bands, you could hold a stick and just imagine you're pulling the stick apart, so you're tensioning your arms like that as you move. So either using bands or a more rigid object like a stick, turning the band out and then reaching up and then bringing your elbows back to your side. Again, that can be done in a seated position or lying on your back to alter the effects of gravity. It depends on what degree of injury you've got, or your strength, or even pain if it's some of the impingement problems which we've talked about in the other video, in the presentation. Another extra bit to add to that, actually, sometimes when people do the strengthening, they might hitch and do altered movement patterns. So something as simple as just standing on one leg and producing the movement, or watching your hand as you reach, or looking at yourself in the mirror when you do that, may help to make that movement a bit more effective. As I said before, it doesn't replace an actual assessment. They're quite generic exercises these, so you might find that you need to have an assessment to tailor the exercises to you. In regards to the band exercises, you just want to really be doing those to fatigue because they're more of a stability exercise. Don't do any of these exercises into pain, or if there's any heat or other inflammatory changes occurring at your joints when you do this. It's important to get that further assessed. Thank you.